Welcome the year 2001, the United States Mint produced millions of coins as part of its ongoing efforts to support the economy and facilitate commerce. Among these coins, one denomination stood out not for its appearance or widespread popularity, but for its unusual story that would later captivate collectors, numismatists, and historians alike, the 2001 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it seemed like an ordinary 5-cent coin, bearing the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. However, over time, certain specimens of this coin would emerge with peculiar traits, unique histories, and in some cases, a value that defied imagination. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and its core design remained relatively unchanged until the early 2000s. The 2001 issue fell within this traditional design window, making it part of the final years before the Westward Journey nickel series began in 2004. Because of this, the 2001 nickel holds a place in the transitional period of modern U.S. coinage. Yet its historical significance does not stop there. The intrigue surrounding the 2001 Jefferson nickel is rooted in a combination of low mint errors, certain rare die varieties, collector interest, and unexpected events that led to some coins being worth far more than their face value. One of the most significant elements contributing to the high value of certain 2001 Jefferson nickels is the presence of die varieties. Among these are doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and misaligned strikes. In the process of minting, if the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, damaged, or reused incorrectly, it could create subtle but distinct changes in the appearance of the coin. A doubled die, for instance, could result in the appearance of doubled lettering or features, which often go unnoticed by the untrained eye but become a prized anomaly among collectors. Moreover, a few specimens have been identified with dramatic die breaks, where the die cracked during the striking process, leaving raised lines or even cuts on the coin's surface. These flaws, though technically imperfections, are sought after because they signify a unique moment in the minting process, a rare snapshot of a mechanical error frozen in metal. The most valuable 2001 Jefferson nickels are those that combine multiple errors, such as a double die with an off-center strike or a repunched mint mark with a die break, which significantly elevates their rarity and appeal in the numismatic market. Beyond physical characteristics, the historical context of the year 2001 adds further intrigue. This was a time of transformation in the United States and the world, marked by economic shifts, technological growth, and geopolitical events that reshaped history. Some collectors assign symbolic value to coins minted during pivotal years, and 2001 is certainly one of those years. As such, these nickels serve not only as pieces of currency but as tiny time capsules reflecting a specific moment in American history. In terms of circulation, millions of 2001 nickels were minted across Philadelphia and Denver, making most of them relatively common. However, the extremely high-grade specimens, those graded MS-67 and above, are significantly scarcer. High-grade coins are difficult to come by due to the natural wear and tear coins experience during transportation, storage, and circulation. Coins that remain in pristine condition are typically those that were never used in commerce and were instead preserved in rolls, sets, or vaults shortly after minting. The value of these high-grade and error varieties has surged in recent years, fueled by collector demand and auction results. Some of the most pristine 2001 Jefferson nickels have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, particularly those with unique mint errors or certified by reputable grading services such as PCGS and NGC. In the coin collecting world, provenance and authentication are critical, and coins that come with a solid history of previous ownership or certification from trusted entities tend to command higher prices. Then there's the mystique that often surrounds coins believed to be lost or extremely rare due to unique production circumstances. Rumors have circulated about a mysterious batch of 2001 nickels that were struck using experimental dyes or alternative metal compositions, potentially intended for test purposes at the mint. While no official documentation has surfaced to confirm such claims, the speculation itself has driven collectors to search tirelessly for such elusive coins, scouring rolls, coin jars, and estate sales in hopes of uncovering a hidden gem. The romantic allure of finding a coin worth far more than its face value has long driven interest in numismatics, and the 2001 Jefferson nickel has taken on legendary status in some circles. Stories abound of individuals discovering one in pocket change or a coin roll, only to later learn that they possess a coin valued at thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. While such discoveries are rare, they're not impossible, and they serve as a reminder of the treasures that might lie hidden in the most ordinary places. One particularly famous case involves a coin collector from Ohio who stumbled upon a 2001 nickel with multiple errors during a routine roll hunt. The coin exhibited an off-center strike, a visible die break, and doubling on the word "Liberty." After professional grading and authentication, the coin sold at auction for a staggering sum that sparked widespread interest and renewed attention toward 2001 nickels in general. This event, widely covered in numismatic circles and later mentioned in collector forums, pushed many hobbyists to revisit their collections, and some to begin collecting anew. What makes the 2001 Jefferson nickel even more fascinating is how it challenges assumptions about value and rarity. It is a coin that, by all outward appearances, seems indistinct from millions of others. Yet it holds the potential for extraordinary worth under the right circumstances. This duality, commonness hiding extreme value, is a recurring theme in coin collecting and is part of what makes it such a compelling hobby. The coin's connection to Thomas Jefferson also invites reflection on the broader themes of American history and democratic ideals. Jefferson, a principal author of the Declaration of Independence and a former U.S. president, symbolizes innovation, exploration, and intellectual curiosity. His presence on the nickel imbues the coin with a sense of heritage and continuity, making it more than just a medium of exchange. It becomes a tribute to the values that helped shape the nation.a's interest in numismatics continues to grow, particularly through digital platforms, online auctions, and collector communities. The spotlight on coins like the 2001 Jefferson nickel only grows brighter. The proliferation of educational resources, grading guides, and collector tools has empowered more people to participate in the search for valuable coins. It's no longer a pursuit limited to professional numismatists or seasoned hobbyists. Now, anyone with an eye for detail and a bit of curiosity can potentially uncover a fortune hidden in plain sight. This democratization of coin collecting has also driven up competition and market values. As more people enter the space, high-grade and rare coins become increasingly scarce, and their prices follow suit. The speculative potential of coins like the 2001 Jefferson nickel, especially when stories of million-dollar finds circulate online, creates a kind of cultural momentum that pushes the coin further into the spotlight. Another dimension to the coin's rising fame is the emergence of digital collecting, including virtual coin museums and blockchain-based authentication tools. These innovations have changed how collectors verify, trade, and showcase their collections. A certified, Error 2001 Jefferson nickel can now be listed in digital collections accessible to collectors worldwide, increasing its exposure and, in many cases, its perceived value. There's also the emotional aspect that cannot be overlooked. For many collectors, finding a rare 2001 nickel is about more than just money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of a keen eye catching what others miss, and the connection to a rich and layered history. Each coin tells a story, and when that story includes unexpected value, rarity, and historical relevance, it becomes something truly special. Some numismatists even speculate that in the decades to come, the 2001 Jefferson nickel could become one of the iconic coins of the early 21st century, much like the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. If current trends continue and public interest remains high, its legacy could extend far beyond the current collector market. As coin values continue to rise, especially for those associated with strong stories or confirmed rarities, the upper limit for what a 2001 Jefferson nickel can be worth may yet be redefined. Auction records serve as benchmarks, but private sales and estate inheritances often bring surprises that rewrite the history books. It's conceivable that a unique or previously unknown variant of the 2001 nickel could one day fetch a record-breaking price, propelling it to the upper echelons of numismatic fame. Today, collectors are still on the lookout for these elusive specimens. Some believe the most valuable of them are still out there, tucked away in forgotten coin jars, nestled in old collections, or even languishing in vending machines and cashier drawers. The possibility of finding such a coin continues to fuel the passion of collectors around the world. In a world that's constantly changing, coins like the 2001 Jefferson nickel offer a sense of permanence and discovery. They Next 1966, amid the backdrop of a dynamic and transformative era in American history, the United States Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels. These coins, typically viewed as ordinary pocket change, would in later years come to capture the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. The 1966 Jefferson nickel may not initially appear extraordinary, but beneath its humble exterior lies a narrative rich with history, numismatic intrigue, and extraordinary value, so much so that select specimens have gained a face value legend of $66 million in collector lore. The journey of this coin through American pockets, drawers, and ultimately auction floors is as fascinating as the era it represents. To understand why the 1966 Jefferson nickel holds such mystique, it's essential to revisit the cultural and economic landscape of the United States in the mid-1960s. The nation was navigating significant political shifts, the civil rights movement was changing the face of social justice, and the Vietnam War dominated headlines. Amidst these turbulent times, the U.S. Mint was continuing its long-standing mission of producing currency that could stand up to both daily use and the symbolic weight of American ideals. The Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, had by 1966 become a familiar fixture in American currency, bearing the visage of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. What made 1966 a particularly intriguing year for coin collectors was its placement during a transitional period in U.S. coinage. The Coinage Act of 1965 had removed silver from dimes and quarters and altered the composition of many coins in circulation. Though nickels retained their traditional copper-nickel alloy composition, this period of change heightened public interest in coins, with many Americans beginning to scrutinize their change for rare or valuable specimens. Additionally, from 1965 to 1967, coins were struck without mint marks to discourage coin hoarding, a decision that complicates the work of collectors trying to track mint origin and assess rarity. The 1966 Jefferson nickel was officially minted only at the Philadelphia Mint, and like all coins from that 3-year period, it bears no mint mark. Over 156 million Jefferson nickels were produced in 1966, meaning the majority of these coins were considered common. However, rarity is not always defined by mintage numbers alone. A coin's value can also stem from striking errors, unique die varieties, historical significance, and the quality of its preservation. In the case of the 1966 Jefferson nickel, a small number of coins exist in conditions so pristine, and in varieties so rare, that their value has skyrocketed far beyond their face value of 5 cents. Among the most sought-after versions of the 1966 Jefferson nickel are those struck in full steps condition. The full steps designation refers to the clarity and completeness of the steps on Monticello as seen on the reverse of the coin. These steps are a test of a coin's striking quality, and very few nickels from 1966 exhibit the level of detail required to earn this distinction. Collectors prize full steps nickels for their rarity, especially from years like 1966 when such sharp strikes were uncommon. Coins in high-grade full steps condition can command thousands of dollars at auction, especially if certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even more fascinating are the error coins. Over the years, collectors have uncovered 1966 Jefferson nickels with striking anomalies that elevate their value dramatically. Examples include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins with unusual planchet errors. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck with a die that has been improperly engraved, resulting in visible duplication of design elements. In 1966, some Jefferson nickels have been found with doubling on the lettering or Monticello itself. These errors, while rare, are incredibly valuable due to their uniqueness and the challenge of finding them in circulation. Other error types, like off-center strikes where the design is not aligned properly on the coin, can also attract significant collector interest. In some cases, a coin struck 50% off-center can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the degree of misalignment and the visibility of key design features like Jefferson's profile or the denomination. Planchet errors, where the metal blank used to strike the coin is flawed or the wrong composition, are even more scarce and valuable. The allure of the 1966 Jefferson nickel also lies in its ability to spark curiosity and dreams of hidden fortune among ordinary people. Many stories circulate in the numismatic community of individuals finding rare varieties of the coin in pocket change, inherited jars, or dusty attic collections. The romanticism of discovering a multimillion-dollar treasure in something so everyday fuels the enduring interest in coins like the 1966 Jefferson nickel. While the average 1966 nickel might only be worth its face value, exceptional examples, particularly those in uncirculated condition, featuring full steps or rare errors, have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. Some reported prices have exceeded 5 or even 6 figures, and in the folklore of numismatics, stories of a 1966 Jefferson nickel with a theoretical or narrative face value of $66 million have emerged. This number is symbolic, tied more to the mystique of collecting and the cultural fascination with hidden treasures than any official valuation, but it reflects the enduring wonder these coins inspired. In a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, the tactile, historical, and collectible nature of coins provides a powerful counterpoint. Coins like the 1966 Jefferson nickel serve as tangible links to the past, small metal tokens that carry the weight of a nation's history, economy, and artistic expression. They remind us that value isn't always about denomination, sometimes it's about rarity, condition, and the stories they tell. These coins are time travelers, passing through generations, changing hands during pivotal historical moments, witnessing everyday transactions, and occasionally ending up in the hands of someone who recognizes their true worth. The 1966 Jefferson nickel is a symbol of the unexpected treasures that still lurk in the ordinary, waiting to be discovered by a careful eye or a curious mind. It represents a moment in American coinage that bridges tradition and transition, commonality and collectability. As more collectors continue to hunt for these rare specimens, it's clear that the 1966 Jefferson nickel has secured its place in the annals of numismatic history. Its journey from minting presses to million-dollar auctions is one that continues to inspire awe and admiration. Each new find, each perfectly struck example, and each confirmed error adds another chapter to the story of a coin that has become legendary not just for its monetary value, but for its ability to captivate. So the next time you find a nickel from 1966, take a moment to look closely. Examine the steps of Monticello. Check for doubling. Inspect the strike quality. What you hold in your hand might not just be change, it could be history. And who knows? Maybe your 1966 Jefferson nickel is the next one to be valued at a staggering sum, joining the ranks of coins with legends written not just in metal, but in the imaginations of those who seek them. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the fascinating history and surprising value of the 1966 Jefferson nickel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories of coins that made history and turned spare change into big money. Next, 2006 brought forth a remarkable chapter in the world of numismatics, where common change transformed into hidden treasure. One such unsuspecting treasure is the 2006 Jefferson nickel, a coin that, while minted in large numbers and circulated across the United States, holds an astonishing potential value far beyond its modest 5-cent denomination. It's hard to imagine that a coin bearing the image of Thomas Jefferson and minted in the 21st century could reach a symbolic face value of $2006 million in the eyes of collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, but this small metallic piece tells a story far grander than its size. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has since seen a number of changes in design, composition, and significance. In 2006, the United States Mint introduced a new design featuring a forward-facing portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, a design by Jamie Franke that was part of the Westward Journey nickel series conclusion. This change was monumental, as it marked the first time a U.S. coin featured a frontal image of a former president, representing a shift not only in art but in national memory and numismatic culture. 2006 was not just another year in minting. It was a year of innovation, a year that tested the limits of design, production, and historical reflection. The United States Mint issued these nickels in Philadelphia and Denver, each marked with its respective mint mark, P or D. But what made the 2006 Jefferson nickels start to stand apart wasn't just the design or even their relatively new release, it was the emergence of errors, varieties, and low population high-grade examples that began to attract attention among collectors. Some of the most intriguing coins from this year include those with off-center strikes, double dies, or full steps on Monticello's depiction on the reverse. These seemingly small imperfections or specific design characteristics began to fuel the idea that not all 2006 Jefferson nickels were created equal. Indeed, some were worth mere cents in the pocket of a passerby, while others were commanding hundreds, thousands, and potentially millions of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and demand. The possibility that one might hold a coin of incredible value in their hand, completely unaware of its worth, added a layer of magic to everyday life. To understand how a 2006 nickel could be symbolically connected to a face value of $2006 million, one must delve into the psyche of collectors. Numismatics isn't just about collecting coins, it's about storytelling, preservation, and capturing history in metal. The Jefferson nickel, in all its variations, embodies decades of American change and progression. From the initial designs in 1938, through the Westward Journey series celebrating the Louisiana Purchase and Lewis and Clark's expedition, to the innovative forward-facing portrait in 2006, the series charts a visual narrative of the United States, but there's also a more speculative side to coin collecting. Just as a baseball card from the 1950s or a first-edition comic book can skyrocket in value over time, so too can a coin from a relatively recent year, especially when it becomes emblematic of a historical moment or finds itself in limited high-quality condition. When a coin becomes difficult to find in uncirculated condition or features a rare mint error, its value can multiply exponentially. That's what's happened with select specimens of the 2006 Jefferson nickel. Consider the population reports from grading services like PCGS and ncaa. These reports track how many coins have been graded at specific levels, and when it comes to the 2006 nickel, very few examples have reached the top echelons of mint state or proof grades. When a collector finds or owns a coin graded MS 67 or higher with full steps, they are holding onto a piece of American minting history that few others have. And when those few coins hit the auction block, the results can be stunning, yet value is not just tied to grade or rarity. The 2006 Jefferson nickel is a historical artifact. It marks the final year in the Westward Journey nickel series before the introduction of the new, permanent design. As such, it stands as both a conclusion and a new beginning. It represents an era where American coinage began embracing modern artistic expression while still honoring its deep roots in presidential legacy and national expansion. The coin becomes a physical timeline, connecting the past to the present with every groove, ridge, and imprint. Collectors often refer to the face value of rare coins in metaphorical terms. The notion of a $2006 million face value for a 2006 nickel is not to say the coin literally holds that amount in legal tender, but rather it is a symbolic valuation of its cultural and collectible worth. It embodies the dream, the chase, the excitement of discovering something extraordinary in the most ordinary of places. Imagine the surprise of finding such a coin in change, only to realize it could rival the price of a luxury car, a home, or even a private jet, depending on the market and historical interest. In this way, the coin transforms from a simple object into a legend. It becomes a piece of folklore, much like the 1943 copper penny or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. These are coins that were once overlooked but later revered, coins that now reside in museums, private collections, and auctions fetching astronomical prices. The 2006 Jefferson nickel is steadily entering that same legendary sphere. And like all legends, its value increases with time, speculation, and the stories we attach to it. Furthermore, the cultural weight of Thomas Jefferson himself adds immense value. As a founding father, principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and third President of the United States, Jefferson's legacy is vast. To hold a coin with his face, especially one crafted with such modern and bold artistic vision, is to hold a piece of American ideology. The 2006 design captures more than just a likeness, it captures an idea, a philosophy rooted in liberty, progress, and nationhood. Coin collecting is often described as the hobby of kings. It's a pursuit that requires patience, knowledge, and a keen eye. But it also rewards imagination. The 2006 nickel invites everyone, from beginners to seasoned experts, to imagine the possibilities. What if this one coin is the rare one? What if this nickel, passed through hands, dropped in parking lots, forgotten in jars, is the one that makes history? This spark of possibility is what fuels the ever-growing market for coins like the 2006 Jefferson nickel. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and auctions constantly buzz with rumors and discoveries. Coins that were once part of a child's allowance or a vending machine transaction are now seen as potential treasures. And when a high-grade or rare error coin appears, it electrifies the numismatic world. What adds to the allure is the unpredictability. Unlike modern investments where trends can be predicted through data analysis and market forecasts, coin values often rise from unexpected sources: a YouTube video going viral, a discovery by a novice collector, a sudden demand spike, or a news story that captures the public imagination. The 2006 nickel has benefited from all of these, gradually cementing its place as one of the standout coins of the 21st century. In a time when digital currencies dominate headlines, it is poetic that a small, metallic coin still holds so much power. It's a reminder that value isn't always measured by size or technological advancement but by history, rarity, and the narratives we create. The 2006 Jefferson nickel, for all its modesty, has proven to be a powerhouse of interest, commanding both attention and high prices. For those new to the world of coin collecting, the 2006 Jefferson nickel serves as a perfect starting point. It is accessible, historic, and full of potential. Whether you find one in your pocket, at a flea market, or online, take a closer look. Check for mint marks. Examine the steps on Monticello. Consider sending it for grading. You never know, your small find could be worth a symbolic $2006 million in collectible prestige. And if you've enjoyed this exploration into the fascinating journey of the 2006 Jefferson nickel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Join us as we uncover more coins with secret histories and unbelievable values. Your next big discovery could be just one coin away.